for it. This is a psalm about appetite. The psalmist and Pauline had an appetite for God. They not only heard the stories of God's goodness, they experienced it in their own lives. They tasted it. They wanted it again. All the days of my life. They not only heard the stories of God's goodness, they wanted more of it. They wanted it in the trouble of their lives. One thing I ask, says the psalmist, that only is what I seek. Let me find God. Let me find God. Let me discover Him again and again in all the situations of trouble and pain and suffering I experience. One thing I want, says the psalmist, and that is to be in a place where I'm reminded of the goodness of God, where I can experience that goodness again and again and again. To be in a place where I can search for the goodness of God and expect to find it, no matter what's going on in the world around me. To be in a place and to be with people who want the same thing. When we got together to plan this service the other day at the house, you already had a plan. They already had the service plan based on Pauline's desires, on the things Pauline wanted in this service. And it included both Psalm 23 and 27. And the key verses, I think, in those were in Psalm 23, verse 8, I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil. And in Psalm 27, my heart will not fear. You knew those were her favorite psalms. You knew that. She told you again and again that she loved those psalms. She wanted you to know how important they were to her. But not just so that you would read them at her funeral. Not just so that you would read them here in this setting today. Pauline wanted you to have no fear. That's why she learned those psalms. That's why she shared those psalms. That's why she recited those psalms from memory. She wanted you to be able to live with the daily presence of the God that she knew. She wanted you to know the contentment of God's care, of God's good protection, and of God's constant provision. She wanted you to trust the God that she trusted. The psalmist concludes his poem saying, I will sacrifice with shouts of joy. I will sing and make music to the Lord. I wonder about the timing of that action. At first it seems to me that he probably says, oh, I'll go do that. I'll go worship. I'll go pray and sing and make music when the trouble is gone. When everything's good again. But when I look at the psalm again, I don't think the trouble's gone yet. I think the psalmist is finding no fear right in the middle of the trouble. Could it be that he's shouting praise while he's still under threat? Could it be that he's singing and making music while he faces his trouble? There's something that happens when we do that. When we sing and praise in the midst of our trouble, something happens. The situation may not change. Trouble may still be there.